Keeping the rave alive.
Hey, this is Adero, keeping the rave alive with Kutski. Hey, this is Envine. This is Billy Daniel Butler.
This is Zatox.
This is Andy Whitby, and we're keeping the rave alive. Hi, this is Dilly Tech, and you're listening to Keeping the Rave Alive with Kutski.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Rude. You're now listening to my boy Kutski here at Keeping the Rave Alive.
Drop the BS Pandem.
What's up, Kutski? Peace, DJ Yoda.
I'm gonna rip this motherfucker up.
Marky G inside the house. This is DJ Kutski.
Be stronger than a hurricane.
Yo, this is Silence, and you're listening to Keeping the Rave Alive.
Combination style.
Yes, welcome back to the show, Keeping the Rave Alive, 360 degrees of the harder styles of dance music, served up by myself, Kutski, each and every week. How are we all doing, you wonderful people out there in rave land? We might not have the parties in our life yet that 2021 said they were going to promise us. There's still hope yet, but until we get back out into the clubs, you can rely on Keeping the Rave Alive to give you a fix of hard beats each and every week. First up, on a bit more of a techno tip than his hardstyle usual flavours, this is Zatox with Acid and Bass. Absolutely love this track. Let's get the beats rocking. It's Keeping the Rave Live with Kutski.
Can you hear it? The rumble in the background. Can you feel it coming closer? It's a classic acid bass. It's made of bass and acid. Bass and acid. There is no world. There is no universe. All there is left is you, bass, and acid.
Awesome stuff to kick off the show. Zatox, Acid a Bass. It's almost like warm-up hardstyle. Love it. That's the one good thing to come out of lockdown is people aren't writing tracks to try and make the biggest dance floors at the moment. They're writing a bit more experimental. Personally, I love that. And we've got a fun-packed show, as always, stacked with brand new hard beats across the full spectrum of the harder styles of dance music. Got all the usual features on the show. Got Sample Mania, Does It Sound Good at 170, the final vinyl. We've got Eufeion in on the guest mix, delivering some brand new upfront happy hardcore flavours. But before all that, it's time for me to get in the mix with the latest hardstyle and hard dance. Let's do it.
Yo, this is Slipmatt, keeping the rave alive with Kutski.
And first up in my selection, brand new one from the man that is Gekko.
Hey, what are you doing to my radio? You just had to go messing with my radio again, didn't you? Fucking Gekko. 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 Fucking Gekko. 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 Fucking Gekko. 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 Fucking Gekko. 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 What are you doing to my radio? Fucking Gekko. Gekko. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. To my radio. You just had to go messing with my radio again, didn't you? Fucking Gekko. Fucking Gekko. What are you doing to my radio?
like home. Can feel it in our bones. So we're gonna make this last forever. We discovered the unknown, a journey of our souls. Oh, as long as we will be together. Gliding across the galaxy, where it's only you and me. We let us guide by gravity. In the galaxy, shining like stars made in our dreams. No, it's more than just belief. No, we have never felt so free. In the galaxy. In the galaxy.
Kutski beats stronger than a hurricane.
Yes, it's Kutski in the mix, keeping the rave alive. Time for the weekly plug of ways that you can support myself here with what I'm trying to put together with the Keeping the Rave Alive show during the pandemic. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, there is links in the descriptions of various ways where you can support me. Picking up anything from the Keeping the Rave Alive store through to booking me to record you a custom DJ mix. Just look at the links in the description wherever you're listening to the show. Appreciate your support as always. Now we get back into the beats.
It's DJ Kutski in the mix.
Shining like stars made in our dreams. Now it's more than just belief. No, we have never felt so free. In the galaxy. Now it's more than just belief. No, we
sunglasses at night so I can watch you eat and breathe your storylines. And I wear my sunglasses at night so I can keep track of the visions in my eyes. It's just got me with the guys, yes I know. Don't switch the fate on the guys, yes I know. I can't believe it. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can forget my name while you collect your claim. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see the light that's right before my eyes. I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my I can't believe
it. This is Frantic, and you are listening to Keeping the Rave Alive.
Shout to DJ Gollum, legend of the hard dance scene from Germany from way back in the 90s. Still on point, really firing on all cylinders in the studio at the moment. This is Sunglasses at Night, extended hardstyle mix. Serzo and Firelite in the background now, winding up my little mini mix this week. This is Give It To Me. Definitely two names that are going to be future stars in the hardstyle scene.
Scream if you want to go faster. Kutski.
Okay, time for the 170 feature up next when we crank up the BPMs of different tracks from different styles to see if they sound good at the magical happy hardcore beats per minute counter of 170 BPM. Now, I got reminded of this track that I almost forgot about when we were doing a little feature on my Twitch stream of which was better, the original or remix, and somebody mentioned Cortina Music is Moving Gammer remix. Now, of course, I always remember the Hard House remix first courtesy of BK, then there was the Nick Fish Hardstyle mix, and I kind of totally forgotten about this awesome remix from Gammer, so let's check it out. Hardest record in the world right now, courtesy of Miss Kate, a track called Statement you may be familiar with, but this is the brand new DRS remix, clocking in at the magical number of 200 BPM, which a lot of hardcore seems to be repping at the moment. Absolutely brutal track, and I love it. Check it out. It's the hardest record in the world.
I made you my bitch.
Yo, Kutski, this is the hardest record in the world right now.
You okay with that?
The thing is, you just do stuff and nothing happens. What's it all mean? What's the point? Alright, this whole thing is about self-acceptance. So I should stop judging. So This whole thing is about self-acceptance. So I should stop judging. So no matter what I do, it's on. I need you, my bitch. You okay with that?
This is Scotty Brown. You're listening to Keeping the Rave Alive with Kutski.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Okay, bringing you some ravey flavours now in the background. Track by myself, Kutski, teaming up with Joey Riot on this one. Part of his Power Stomp album, which was released over Christmas. The album was actually a Kickstarter project, so only people that supported the project before actually have access to this tune at the moment. But since I've played it on a couple of my live streams and a lot of people have been asking about it, I spoke to Joe about it and he said we'll definitely be releasing this one as a single in the near future. So yeah, first play for you. This is Kutski and Joey Riot. Close your eyes, check it out. Taking you back to the old school. I know it kind of comes across as like a little bit cheesy or arrogant if you say that you really like your own tunes, but I really, really like this tune. I'm sorry, I kind of do. It's almost like a love letter to my paper round music that I always talk about. Me and Joey disagree on a lot of things about music, mainly the cheesy happy hardcore stuff, which Joey's not a fan of, but yeah, we definitely found a warm middle ground on this one. Okay, time for Sample Mania up next, when we uncover where the samples come from on some of the biggest hits in rave music. Now, I got a really nice message in from Jared J, who says, "Hey Kutski, been listening to Keeping the Rave Alive since around episode 100. 2020 was a hectic year for just about everybody. The pandemic aside, it was the most grueling year on my mental health. So I just wanted to reach out and thank you, as your drive and undying passion for hard beats got me through some pretty grim times last year. So big up." Jared, glad the show has helped you a little bit. Music always makes you feel better, especially hard dance music in my opinion, and the community's really great. So yeah, glad to hear that you're in a better place now. Like I said, for anybody that's ever out there listening to the show struggling, there's a lot of people in the same boat. We stick together, we'll get through it, we will come out on the other side. Now, Jared also wants to shout out to his rave family in Adelaide. So I want to say a quick shout out to Brendan, Lewis, Darcy, Dave, Kate and Stewie. Now, Jared also said that he would love it if I could cover an old track of mine that I did with Techno Boy and Tune Boy called Success. He said it'd be amazing if you could cover that on Sample Mania sometime soon, as it's one of my all-time favourite rave tracks. I love everything about it, from the kick drum, the riff, the sample, the overall awesome vibe. Now, I think a lot of people might know that the actual vocal has been sampled quite a few times by now. It's by a stand-up comedian, Henry Rollins, when he was doing a little skit kind of making fun of rave music. I'm guessing, as a country music fan, probably couldn't really relate to what we do. But what I think is probably the more interesting sample is where the melody, the riff, originally came from. Remade, of course, this is a cover version rather than an actual sample. But one of my favourite old-school rave tracks by Terrorize called Just a Feeling had a super ravey break on it, and that's where I got the inspiration for the main melody on the drop. So let's take things back and we can have a little listen. I'm sure you'll spot the similarity in the melody on the second drop, but you know what, we'll just play the track from the beginning because this has been sampled to death by so many people. If you don't know it, it'll be sample heaven for you, trust me. Terrorize, Just a Feeling.
Sample Mania.
This part in the background was the influential factor of my collaboration with TNT entitled Success. Now, interestingly enough, this wasn't totally original in the Terrorize track because this was a re-edited part of a track by Asin. It was one of the Trip to the Moon releases, I think. But now we've dipped our toes into the old school influence.
I don't know which came first. Shitty rave music or the drugs?
In the background now, TNT, A.K.A. Techno Boy and Tune Boy versus Kutski. This is Success.
Shitty rave music or the drugs?
Just a bunch of people sitting in a warehouse with a bunch of ketamine and ecstasy, and they took a bunch of it, and someone said, "Here, now make some music." Or I wonder if it was just these non-music fuckheads who were, sitting in their house one day and they dipped around on a Macintosh. They go, "Listen, so you make music that shitty," and everyone sits around and goes, "God, this sucks. I'm gonna take these drugs. 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 Drugs. Fuck, that's so good." Fuck, this sucks. First, shitty rave music or the drugs? Or the drugs, for the drugs, for the drugs, these drugs, for the drugs, these drugs, for the drugs, these drugs, I'm gonna take these drugs, I'm gonna take these drugs, 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 fuck, this sucks.
I actually haven't listened to this track for a long time. It still holds up okay, doesn't it? This is like the show when I just sit here and I play in my own tracks and tell you how good they are. But yeah, I'm quite happy listening back to this one as well. Anyway, moving on, time to big somebody else up for a little bit. A friend of mine who I've not seen for quite a while, like many people on the scene. This guy's been around on the hardcore scene forever. I'd be tempted to say underrated, but he's well respected within the scene. He's just quietly plodding along, doing his own thing year after year, writing absolute bangers. And it was only when he sent me a new pack of promos through the other day, I was thinking, we don't think we've ever actually had him on the show, so we had to correct that this week. These are the sounds of Eufeion in the mix on Keeping the Rave Alive. Turn it up.
Let me be your fantasy. Take the ride and come to me. Hold on tight and we can dance. Fly away where almost stand. We have ways to live on a rainy day. You'll always be the love of my life, the love of my life. You'll always be the one that I want, driving me crazy. You'll always be the love of my life, the love of my life. You'll always be the one that I want, driving me crazy. You'll always be the love of my life, the love of my life. You'll always be the one that I want, driving me crazy. You'll always be the love of my life, the love of my life. saw your smile till it was time to go away. Time to go away. It's hard to recognize love comes with the surprise, and it's too late. It's just too late to stay. Too late to stay. We'll always be together, however far it seems. We'll always be together, together in the magic dream. We'll always be together, however far it seems. We'll always be together, together in the magic dreams. Together in the magic dreams. Because the friendship that you gave has taught me to be brave. No matter where I go, I'll never find a better prize. Miles and miles away, I see you every day. I don't have to try, I just close my eyes. We'll always be together, however far it seems. We'll always be together, together in the magic dreams. Together in the magic dreams. We'll always be together, however far it seems. We'll always be together, together in the magic
Many thanks to Eufeion for the absolutely awesome guest mix on the show this week. It's almost like old school happy hardcore with new school production, isn't it? Awesome stuff. Like I said, Lee has been around on the scene for a long time, writing absolute belters. And I can't believe we've never had him on the show before now, so we have corrected it this week. Thank you very much, Eufeion, for the awesome guest mix. Go and show him some love online. Check out all his latest releases. This mix was just a production showcase of his awesome latest work. So go online, show him some love. Okay, one last track on the show, the final vinyl. Now, during the week, I did a little showcase on my Twitch live stream of a record label that's one of my favourite hardcore labels of all time, and I think this could well be my favourite release on said label. The label is Stompin' Tunes, the artist is Terrible Twins, the track is Burn This Joint. Okay, just before we let this one run, as always, it's time for me to thank you wonderful people that have been kind enough to support me over the last week by buying me a virtual beer. Now, I know that might not make a lot of sense, but the idea being, right, is if I came to your house once a week and I played you that cool set, would you give me a beer? And because I've virtually done that, you can virtually buy me a beer for £3. And if a handful of people manage to do that each week, then I manage to keep the lights on here in the Keeping the Rave Alive studios. Really, it's just a way of supporting me. And if you would like to do so, you can head over to the website beer.keepingtheravealive.com. That's beer.keepingtheravealive.com. You can buy me a virtual beer. The link is in the description wherever you're listening to this podcast. And I would like to say a big shout out to Bruzy, who says, every week you make a great show, but I think the best of 2020, wow, amazing. Keep up the good work. Greetings from the Netherlands, and you can have 2 beers. Bruzy says, we say in Dutch, op 1 bean kan je niet lopen. I know. You don't need to say it because he's given me a translation already saying you can't walk on one leg, so I need 2 beers. Thank you very much, Bruzy. Appreciate that. Also, big shout out to Yoris that says, hi, my friend, here's 1 beer and 1 snack for after it, because you must eat after you've had a beer. Thanks for all the good music, and greets from Holland again. You know what? I'm catching the vibe from Holland. A lot of good advice coming from there, isn't it? Drink 2 beers instead of 1, have something to eat after it. I might move to Holland at this rate. Thank you very much, Yoris. Appreciate that. Also, shout out to Lawrence Ward saying, much love from a random big-time hardcore nerd in the Bay Area of California. Thank you very much, Lawrence. James from Melbourne, Australia got in touch saying, have some beers from me, and if you ever need any help with your internet access, get in touch with me. James, I've bookmarked your email address, mate. I'll be in touch soon if we have any more server problems. Shout out to Michael as well, simply saying, keep the rave alive, and bought me a virtual beer. Ash Jones, regular supporter of mine, didn't leave a message either, just bought me a bunch of virtual beers. So Ash, as always, sending love, mate. Hope you're well. Shout out to Asher saying, you've got to come back to Colorado, mate. The higher the altitude, the better the coffee is. Now, random you should say that, because I'm playing a Japanese RPG at the moment called Persona, and I've got a part-time job in my mad little game where I make coffee, and it gives me little tips and advice. And one of the things that I've noticed on all of it is all the best coffee comes from high ground. So yeah, indeed, Asher, not only for the amazing rave scene, but I want to come back to Colorado and get some cool coffee now. Thanks, mate. Appreciate the support. Moving on, shout out to John C saying, have a 6-pack, been enjoying the podcast and the Twitch streams. Thanks, John. Thank you very much for the very, very kind donation there. Appreciate that. As well as a big shout out to a regular supporter, Benoit, saying, Kutski, you're on fire. The quality of the weekly shows and the level of entertainment you bring is off the charts. It's like Christmas morning for me every time you upload a new show. Happy New Year to you, mate, from Benoit. Thank you very much for the support. Glad you've been enjoying the show, and trust me, this month I'm planning a lot of stuff to create even more content for 2021. So yeah, we're moving forward and we've got a lot of exciting things planned, and your support very, very much helps me be able to do that. Shout out to Paul Jordan, A.K.A. DJ PJ, saying, total respect for your dedication and everything rave. Love it. Been a follower since the Radio 1 days. Met you at Kidstock once on the farm with Rat Pack. I remember that party. That was a good, fun party, that wasn't it? The definition of an underground rave. Paul says, been a hardstyle junkie since 2002. Keep up the awesome work and get a huge drink on me. Thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate that. And also shout out to David that says, been seeing you live since Good Grief's 5th birthday at Nation in Liverpool. That was another awesome party back in the day. I said it then and I said it now. The future is bright. The future is Kutski. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate the compliment. He's also congratulating me on my recent engagement as well. So thank you very much, David. Really appreciate that. Thank you to Monin, got in touch and says, the Hardcore Top 100 was great. Nice one. I remember Global Grooves in Brook Street. Great shop. You know what? Most of the tracks that you heard in that Top 100 I bought at Global Grooves. Awesome independent record shop in my hometown of Chester. And I still keep in touch with Fat Phil Cooper, who used to run that shop. And he was the resident of Cream in Liverpool, the legendary club. Now lives out in Spain. Still keep in touch with Phil. Really nice guy. Shout out to Richard saying, have some beers on me. Instead of shouting me out, you can shout out your number one fan, DJ Wheatloaf, who is currently in hospital recovering after a procedure. So firstly, shout out to Richard. Thank you very much for the support. And secondly, DJ Wheatloaf, of course, I know. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're well in hospital, recovering, hopefully even out of hospital by the time you actually listen to this. But if not, rough start to the year, dude. Onwards and upwards. Keep in touch. Let me know how you're getting on and stuff. Yeah, and thoughts are with you, mate. Shouts to Jamie, who was saying, really enjoyed the Happy Hardcore Top 100. Thanks for the great tunes and keeping me entertained while working from home. That's the one thing I can do, isn't it? I can't entertain you in a club, but I can entertain you all working from home with these podcasts and streams. Shout out to Casper, saying greets from Glasgow. Thanks for keeping the rave alive and bought me a virtual beer. And then lastly, Amy, MC Unicorn, says, hey Kutski, Miss you, hope you're well. I'm starting my own podcast soon. Any tips for new podcasters? Now, I actually know Amy, and Amy's got nothing to worry about being a podcast host because she's super knowledgeable of hardcore and she's got a really warm personality. So my only advice to anybody now, if you're going to do a podcast, is just be yourself, let your personality come across, because anyone can listen to a Spotify playlist for music. If it's just an hour mix of music, I don't think that's enough to cut it. You need to bring your personality across, and Amy's definitely not going to have a problem with that. And the other thing that I would say that's important is consistency. You know, I've been doing this podcast for 7-8 years now, and I've not missed a single week, no matter what life throws at me. So yeah, consistency is everything. Amy, hope all goes well with the launch of the podcast. Let me know when it's live, we can give it a little plug for you. So once again, if you would like to support me here with what I'm doing with the Keeping the Rave Alive shows this year, you can do so by buying me a virtual beverage at the website beer.keepingtheravealive.com, and I can give you a shout out to show you my gratitude for your support on the show next week. Again, beer.keepingtheravealive.com, and the link is in the description, so you can just click it from there. Right, okay, time to see you out with this absolute classic. This is Burn This Joint. Catch you back on the show, same time, same place next week. Until then, it's Kutski signing out. Keep the rave alive. Stay safe, and I'll catch you soon.
Kutski, Kutski, in the place. Wind up your waist, alright?
This is Billy Daniel Bunter. Kutski, take him back to the old school!
This joint.